Hello gang, and welcome to Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. Before we go any further, if you want to click that like button, I'd be very much in debt to you. Grateful even. In fact, if you were here with me, I'd take you out to the pub and the first round would be on me. But you're not, so instead the best thing I can do is give you a few minutes of entertainment, and for that, I can deliver. So sit down and get comfortable because there's a whole lot of news out there. So let's talk about it. Storm Collectibles are bound and determined to get my money, and they're making a good case for themselves as well with their 7-inch M Bison from Street Fighter 2. I dedicated my Street Fighter collection to the Church of Jada because they were doing such a good job. And then Storm Arena comes along and I think, well, maybe I can substitute a couple of the figures. But now Storm are also doing their bigger 7-inch scale Bison, and I'm like, I'm not collecting a 7-inch scale Street Fighter display, but maybe I could just get Bison, because this is one of my favorite bad guys of all time, and he does look amazing. And I just realized you can do the cross-armed pose as well, which is so great. I'm kind of selling him to myself while I'm looking at this. So no prices yet, I don't believe. However, it's going to be Storm Collectible, so you're going to be looking at probably about $80, give or take, maybe more in this day and age. But when it comes to big bads that you want to spend your money on, with the power effects, and he's got like the blood eyes as well, so mean, so wicked. The shading on the armor, on his legs as well. Everything about this looks gorgeous. Yeah, this, if I gave a prize for figure of the episode, this right here, this is Dave's figure of the episode. This is awesome. This was revealed a little while ago, but I just didn't get round to showcasing it. Jada Toys are doing their Player 2 Fei Long, which, just like the other Player 2 characters, is a repaint, but with some extra goodies as well to help separate you from your money. So now we're getting an extra head sculpt. He, of course, has the more purple-looking pants, and he's got the nunchaku as well. Jada, this ain't your first rodeo, and clearly we can tell that because you know how to get that first round of sales and then offer just a little extra to get people to dip their toe back into the pool. I can resist this. I'm holding out for Pink Chun-Li and Blue Guile, and when they hit, well, actually Pink Chun-Li is out there somewhere, but I ain't seen her yet. Nonetheless, though, for you completionists who want everything, you might want to pick up this not Bruce Lee figure, because let's face it, that's who Fei Long is. But dang, he looks really good. Folks, time to take a quick pause for the cause and tell you about this channel's sponsor, Legendsverse. And you know all about Legendsverse by now. They are your one-stop shop for all of your action figure collecting, cataloging, and correlating needs. Had to pause for a second, but I remember my 3 C's. So if you collect Marvel Legends, MOTU, Mafex, DC, Mezco, NECA, or any others, chances are they've got them on there, including WWE, Transformers, Jada Street Fighter, and probably, yeah, even more that I keep forgetting because they're adding new lines and new action figures every single day. Not only can you catalog your collection on there, but you can divide them up into teams and subgroups. You can look at the user added content to see different teams that people have made. So if you want to know how to make the 90s Justice League, or say for example the new X-Men, or the new Avengers, then you can go and see what teams people have put together. I love that. I love the community aspect and the fact that it's something that's just continuously growing and evolving. Legendsverse, I'm so happy to partner with because they're doing something for the community, easy for me to say, that I really love myself. So yeah, go check them out, make an account on there, it's free to do, and yeah, start exploring, because trust me, it's very easy to get lost down that rabbit hole. There's a lot of awesome stuff, and yeah, me personally, I'm a big fan. What would you think if I were to offer you a wrist-mounted frog launcher? Because that's what you're getting with this guy. What might be one of the highlights of the action figure calendar this year. There's a pre-order now up finally for Mety Toys Adventures World Tiger Vanguard Jinshan Jun 1/10 scale action figure. I had preview pictures of this guy already, but now finally we've got the full name, which I was reading there, along with the prices and all that kind of thing. So $134.99. That's very expensive. I mean, don't get me wrong, he looks gorgeous, but my giddy gravy. Yes, we'll go with that. Giddy gravy. That is a lot of money, but I do reiterate, he comes with a wrist-mounted frog launcher. You can't really put a price on that. You can do. It's $134. But if you want to pay it, then you can go over to Big Bad Toy Store. And honestly, if you do, I have a bit of admiration for you. Because it means you're a man of discerning tastes. And you chose a good action figure right there. This guy looks gorgeous. Mety Toys, still, just everything they release looks like an absolute banger. And this one, honestly, is no exception. And if you're not too sure, 1/10 scale, that means he's about 7 inches, give or take. And honestly, for a big monster like this, I think that's just about the sweet spot. Fresh Monkey Fiction with their Monster Force, they're just smashing it. What was I saying about Mety Toys? Each and every one is a banger. Same can be applied. Second verse, same as the first. For these dudes over here. Pre-orders are up now. For Fresh Monkey Fiction Operation Monster Force Season 2, Lieutenant Griffin, aka The Eraser. It's a badass nickname. And Sleepwalker Aerial Assault Trooper. Again, I want everything. And I just can't buy everything, but golly, it's nice to look at them. Up for pre-order on Big Bad Toy Store, $36.99 each. And hey, I want to make a memorandum to just not talk about prices too much. But at the same time, if I don't, people will be like, whoa, you didn't mention the prices. So I was about to do a mean voice. I was about to be like, you didn't mention the prices. And then I thought, no, Dave, you're better than that. And then I just did it anyway. So, you didn't mention the prices. $36.99 for each one of these guys. And hey, they do look amazing. And the masks in particular. Yeah, the more I look at the pictures, the more I'm convinced. Yeah, you know what? Buy doubles. I don't care about the price. They look great. And now I want you all to sit down so I can tell you about the John Moxley action figure. That's kind of a John Moxley voice. It's a difficult impression to do because he's just a dude. I'm a fan of John Moxley, but honestly, us AEW watchers, I think we can maybe agree that the kind of shtick is sort of running its course a little bit. There's a lot of great stuff in AEW, but John as world champion, I feel like we need a new paint of coat for that promotion. And the sooner they liberate his title from the briefcase, the better, in this humble wrestling fan's opinion. But that's not to say I'm still not a fan of the former Dean Ambrose, and this is an elite-style wrestling action figure. All the bells and whistles and accoutrements you might want. This is part of Walmart's Collecticon 2025. John Moxley 6-inch deluxe figure, $40. So he ain't cheap, but at least you're going to get for $40 a whole lot of stuff. In fact, I dare say more than you might get for, a Maximum Spider-Man? I'm always going to use that as a frame of reference. So yeah, the two different heads. He's kind of full-on bald now, so they really could have done with a bald head sculpt. But hey, it goes to show how long these things take to make. Also, the soft goods look real nice as well. The different heads and hands and changeable legs. That's almost 2 action figures you get for your money. So as an overall package, I think Jazzwares have done a really good job with this. And speaking of action figures taking too darn long to make, we're getting Kenny Omega and former AEW star Ricky Starks, who is now over in WWE NXT as Ricky Saints, I believe. Bit of a difficult situation AEW had with releasing him or not releasing him. At least, hey, everyone's off doing their own thing now. And hey, AEW can still recoup some money, and I guess Ricky Starks can too, with this admittedly very nice looking action figure. And Kenny Omega, hey, he's doing fine with figures. Who knows how many are out by now, but you're not going to be shy of Kenny Omega action figures. So these are part of the Unrivaled collection, Walmart exclusives again. These ones are a lot cheaper than the John Moxley one, going to be clocking in at about $20 each. Got some MOTU pre-orders here now as well. We're getting the Masters of the Universe Origins Battle of Eternia multi-pack here. So, in this pack, a whole bunch of characters I am not familiar with, but friend of the show, Brad, he'd recognize these guys instantly, I'm sure. We're getting Paragon Champion figure. We're going to get Skull Knight figure. Skull Knight looks kind of cool. We're also getting a Horde Revenant figure. And finally, there's the Pit Warden figure. I think, and stop me if I'm wrong, that some of these are like some deep cut characters that hardcore MOTU fans might have been hankering for a while. Help me out. Again, I know a little bit more about MOTU than I do about 40k, but even then, that's not very much. So guys, if you can tell me if these are good, bad, or indifferent, I very much look forward to reading your comments. Now, this is kind of cool from JoyToy. Continuing their Warhammer 40k range, I knew that there were female characters in 40k, of course. That's how, life works. But I've never really seen any female Space Marines, because I appreciate 40k, but I was never deep into it. So seeing these Space Marine 40k ladies, that's awesome. So these are the 40k Adapter Sororitas, Terminators, Space Wolves, and Ultramarines, 1/18th scale. I really dig the look of these. These are cool. They're up for pre-order now on Entertainment Earth and various other locales, wherever good action figures are sold. And honestly, yeah, just... I once saw a YouTube video about boob armor and how boob armor makes no sense, and especially in sword and sorcery, like if you're wearing something that concaves at the chest, a sword blow will hit the chest and then go straight down to the center, the most vital part. And to that, everyone just says, yeah, but boob armor looks cool, so don't ruin this. And in the year 40,000, we still have boob armor. Thank goodness. Long may it continue. These, I wasn't planning to go onto a boob armor rant, but nonetheless, you never know what to expect with model behavior. That's why we have nearly 50,000 subscribers. Less than half of what Carbon Scoring has, by the way. Congratulations on the 100k. I'm gonna get that plaque one of these days, but not today. Tomorrow doesn't look good either. Oh my goodness. This looks pretty darn awesome. This is a 1/12 scale Diablo Lord of Terror action figure. So from the Diablo game, of course, I know that much to be able to confirm it. So this just looks like, for anyone else, an amazing generic devil demon type of character. In a Mephisto-less world, which we have, well, unless you count the Select one that came out decades ago now, we're in short supply of demonic, devilish looking characters for our displays. And this definitely looks the absolute business. Going to be releasing around about the fourth quarter of this year. So if you're a Diablo fan and want something that mirrors your game perfectly, well, this looks to be the case. But if you're just a general sword and sorcery person, or if you want a great demonic kind of enemy for Doctor Strange or someone similar to fight, this dude, I know that all the pictures are kind of glamour shots here, so you don't know how he's going to really look in hand, but just going by the promotional material, gee golly gosh, he does look pretty darn badass. Also, he's going to be 32 centimeters tall. I thought it's good to point that out because, how big is a 1/12 scale monster demon? It's like when you do a scale for a Godzilla figure. It's like, well, how big is that really? Because we don't actually have a proper frame of reference. But this guy, yeah, he looks really cool. Hey kids, do you want a scary clown on your shelf? Of course you don't. You're not a crazy person. But if you do, or more to the point, if you're a fan of One Piece, then this guy's gonna have you covered. Action Roll, 1/12 scale. I don't think this is an official One Piece figure, but it's a legally distinct One Piece figure of one of the big villains from that show, from what I understand. Y'all know me. I appreciate anime and manga, but I am not a connoisseur. So a lot of these references pass me by, but I wanted to point this out because it is a very, very good looking figure. As I mentioned, don't want a scary clown on my shelf, but I can appreciate the work that went into it. Gorgeous soft goods, bright, colorful paint job. I dig it. And if you're a One Piece fan, you might too. We're going on over to The Walking Dead now with a not Jeffrey Dean Morgan Negan action figure. It is Jeffrey, isn't it? That's the name of the actor. So 5K Toys, once again, we're getting from Kraken Studio this 1/12 scale Mezco type figure with a decent looking face portrait and some lovely soft goods. I actually really like the leather jacket in particular. The fact that that's a soft goods, you can remove it, put it on other characters. There's some fun to be had with that. So this guy has just been revealed now, so not going to be out for a while, but the pre-order link is up there on 5K Toys, and yeah, if you like the horror that is The Walking Dead, and honestly, I started to get burned out on the misery after a while. There's only so much I can take, but if you have a good time with that show, then this looks like a good figure. Not that it is from The Walking Dead. No. Legally distinct. Well, this is fun and a bit silly. Do you want a 1/2 scale toad? Well, you can get one, and I do say 1/2 scale, not 1/12. So this is going to be big when compared to a 1/12 scale action figure, but that's half the fun. You've got a big monster toad, basically. So this is Goo Goo Doll and Little Feet, and they both look kind of adorable. Actually, up for pre-order on 5K Toys, $59 each. So they're expensive. It would probably be easier to go out into a local swamp and find a real toad. But then again, what are you going to do with a real toad? Leave them be. Get a pretend one instead. The details look beautiful. The paint jobs, and because it is plastic, it's got kind of a sheen to it, which actually works for a slick, wet amphibian type creature. I don't know where I would put these guys, but honestly, I kind of love them. Premium Collectible Studios have shown off their Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters statue. I wanted to showcase this just because, hey, look, if you feel bad about the money you might be spending on the Mythic Legion's dragon, well, this is 3 times the price. So if you buy the dragon instead of this, you're actually saving $1,000. I mean, that's one way to look at it. You got to use whatever twisted logic you can. But hey, this is just super crazy and fun. Premium Collectible Studios, they're called premium for a reason, because they're premium prices. But hey, they actually do the whole Ghostbusters line as well. And this, I just wanted to show you guys because it does look amazing. And for a child of the 80s, there's some big Ghostbusters nostalgia here. So say it with me. 1, 2, 3, roast him! Heresy Tees, a t-shirt company, so something I wouldn't normally talk about on here, because why would I? Well, I'll tell you why, because just look at this incredible Stone Cold Steve Austin giving the stunner to Spider-Man t-shirt. I saw this and fell in love with it. This is just so much fun. Heresy Tees do all kind of tribute shirts, and I suppose you could call them bootleg shirts, but there is original artwork on there as well, but also some artwork that's been inspired by or lifted from other classic artists. You can see this is a big-time Todd McFarlane looking Spider-Man here, but just, man, I saw this and I was like, I'm not a big fashionista, can you tell? But I had to get this t-shirt. It's so much fun. There's a couple of different styles of designs, and hey, look, mashing up pro wrestling and Marvel comics. Two great tastes that taste great together like peanut butter and jelly. I saw this, instantly fell in love. Over in Artist Alley today, big old shout out to Derek Chu Art. Just looking at this, can you go, yeah, no surprise, Dave's a big fan of this dude. Bright, bold, colourful. You gotta love it. Such a great style, and the dude is very prolific in the professional capacity. This ain't a hobbyist here. In the words of Tom Cruise from Collateral, I do this for a living. And you can tell, the dude's got mad skills. Go give him a follow. Today's cosplay cover artist is Zoe Wolf. Go and give her a follow, because there is a lot of money that has clearly gone into these costumes here. This is something that is like next level cosplay, where you can see someone's going, okay, but what if I did this as a career? Well, you know what? It takes money to make money, and you can see the results in the cosplay. The armor, the costumes, the stuff she puts together, pretty darn incredible, I gots to say. So yeah, go check her out. You'll be glad you did. And folks, that does it for good news for today. What did you think about the items covered? Comment below and let me know. And if you want to follow along with model behavior, then you can see all the little social link things behind me. I'm active on pretty much all of those. All the links are in the description down below. You can go give me a follow and keep in touch with me on there. And if you want to doubly support the channel, well, you know that you can do by getting a YouTube channel membership. By getting one of those memberships, then you can take part in the near daily live streams that we do on the channel that are always a great time. At least for me. I hope everyone else enjoys it. It's I have a blast doing them. So gang, thank you so much for watching. Thank you everyone who is a channel supporter. Your names are all rolling up the side of the screen, and I'm very, very grateful to you. So gang, thank you for watching. And until next time, keep displaying model behavior.